It's not a fun day. And Tuesday, another blues day. Wednesday's getting better, Thursday doesn't matter, and Friday is the last day. And then it's W-E-E-K-E-N-D, it's weekend. W-E-E-K-E-N-D, it's weekend. W-E-E-K-E-N-D, it's weekend. W-E-E-K-E-N-D, it's weekend.
300 shows, including stand-up, improv, sketch, even live game shows. Catch some of the best international acts and hidden gems from here and abroad, with shows in English, Spanish, Catalan, French, Italian, and more. 10 days, unlimited laughs, one unforgettable festival. Get your tickets now at barcelonafringefestival.com. Barcelona Fringe Festival. Something for everyone.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the second hour. Welcome home, everybody. Freshen your way, drinkies. I can't freshen mine because, alas, I finished it. And gather around, children. This is the second hour of the Club with Lucas, and welcome. It is 12 o'clock. Well, it's actually 4 minutes past 12 o'clock, and if it is, then you're here at 106.9 RCE, but I am not alone here in the studio, because one of the people from our sponsors, Comedy Clubhouse and Barcelona Fringe Festival and BC in Studio, is going to be showing up right here, right now. In fact, I'm pointing at him right now. It's my video. If you're watching us on YouTube, I'm pointing at him right now, but he's not showing up on my video. This is, well, how do you want me to call you, baby? I want to call you JG or Lady Bonnie Wheelada.
Let's go with Jared.
Okay, we're going to go with Jared. I'm going to call him JG. That's his new hip-hop name. But you're actually giving it to me.
Yeah.
You're serving it up.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
I don't know, dress like the guys you want to fuck. Can I say that?
Yes, you can. And that, my children, is one of the beauties of being here at RCE 106.9 FM in Barcelona, Catalonia. And yes, Jared is also Bonnie Wheeladi, which is also one of his, it's his alter ego.
It is, yeah, it's her.
And, okay, I did make a mention earlier, right at the end of the other hour, about how moving and necessary some of the stuff is, but I also don't want to give too much because we want people to get them fucking tickets.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to be shouting out because, again, my king and queen here is part of the Fringe Festival. In fact, his show kicks off, as I mentioned, at the BCN Studio at November 1st on 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
I want to say 8 o'clock, yeah.
8 o'clock.
And that is going to be the second day. So that is when things are just popping off. Remember, this is popping off at Halloween, Castañada, and they are the dead people. And it goes on through the 9th of November. So shout out to the boys and girls at the Comedy Clubhouse. And the Fringe Festival. Man, we've got so much to get to. I always do a little bit of a roundup before we get to the news and things like that. Can I throw on? Well, I mean, I guess I should throw on a track, but
Of course. Yeah.
yeah. You know what? Let me throw on some music. I did want to do an intro because Jared had just walked in, and I'm going to go get them a little bit more water because I need it. So, and then we're going to throw on a track that your boy loves house music, okay? So I'm going to throw you a little bit of bombardment of house music. I want you to remember, if you can't get the jams live on YouTube because of copyright BS, even though we're a radio station, YouTube, you can catch the jams live on 106.9 FM all over Catalonia and RCE.cat all over this beautiful world. This is Brazilian Love Affair by Soul Phoenix, and it is 3 minutes of a house love, smooth chills. We'll come back with some music and news with Mr. JG in just 3.5 minutes. We'll be right back, kids. Eche. Eche. That's Soul Phoenix. That's Phoenix with Feenix. Now, I'm going to throw my beautiful JG into the mix just to tell you some stuff that's going on in Spain. Because Donald Mother F and Drumpf actually gave a shout out to Pedro Sanchez and then threatened him, but whatever. Because Spain is yet again for the third year in a row, emerging as Europe's standout economy and the fastest growing economy in the Eurozone and possibly in the world, with a growth rate of around 3%, while the rest of the world is between 1% and 2%. So that says something, because our economy continues to grow by between 2.5% and 3% every year since we got out of the pandemic, and we're the only economy in the world that continues to do that under Mr. Lipschitz in Moncloa, Pedro Sanchez. Do you think he's hot?
He's definitely the most handsome out of the political leaders these days, I would say.
I would
One of
agree
them.
with
Up
that.
there.
I remember that one of the papers in your country said the delightfully handsome. I mean, when he won I want to say it was The Guardian or something, like it was a top-notch paper saying that about him. It was very odd. I'll never forget that. What about the king? You think he's kind of cute?
Absolutely not. As a Scottish person, I'm a staunch anti-royalist.
Yes, well, you should be. And there's a no tyrants and no kings thing going on. But I think he's hot. All right. Listen, there's been a first outbreak of lumpy skin disease in Spanish cattle in Catalonia. Apparently, this disease is viral. It affects cattle, not humans, but it spreads through insect bites, and they don't really know how it can affect people across other regions. So be aware of that. And also, we have a shitload of apparently severe weather that's coming. Now, it may or may not pass us, but they are saying that this so-called Dana depression could hit us in Catalonia and parts of Barcelona, as well as all over the Balearic Islands in the days to come. So we should be aware. Why? Because do you remember what happened last year in Valencia with scores of people dying? Everyone is still trying to get themselves out of that. All right, so there's that reason. And also, there's been a new financing model agreed. Now, you don't have to make mention of any of this, but I'm making mention of this because of those of us who've lived here for a long time in Catalonia should probably know this. The central Spanish government and the regional Catalan administration have reached a landmark agreement deal, por fin, under which Catalonia will begin collecting personal income tax from January 26 under a singular financing model. Under this model, the region collects taxes locally, remits a payment to the central state for national level services, and pays a solidarity contribution to support less affluent regions. Why does this matter? Because this is a significant redistribution of fiscal powers that had never happened before. It's not necessarily on par or in line with what they do in País Vasco, but it's a little bit akin to that. And that might mean that we get to keep a little bit more money within Catalonia's provinces, which could benefit us if certain members or political parties keep leading the brigade. If not, it's going to be taken away. The other thing that they need to do is pass a different inheritance law. Mr. Ia, are you listening? Let's put a little bit of music on because we've got some actual art to talk about. Okay. Now, this is United Future Organization. Yes, it's a loud and long and old song, and I love it. It's a few minutes of a ditty. This is called Loud Minority, and we'll be right back with a loud majority in just a moment.
One of the things that breaks me up when I go to a jazz club, I go to a jazz club first to hear the music, but second of all, and this is a very important reason, to dig the people. The people in jazz nightclubs are the funniest.
You don't even talk. Yes, get lost in the jazz. You don't even talk. Now, that is United Future Organization. For those of you who can catch some music, if you're catching us live with your eyeballs, you can always catch us live on 106.9 FM and RCE.cat. And I am not alone in the house because my boy JG or Lady Bonnie Wilati, if you love him like that, one of the fiercest drag queens here in Barcelona, especially from England. So thank you so much for being
From
here.
where?
I mean, excuse me. Sorry. Oh my God. From Scotland, from Great Britain, from Scotland. I don't know why that came out.
Wow.
I will
Shots
never.
fired.
The devil made me say that. From fucking Scotland is here, and we have so much to talk about. Forgive me. Would you please not hit me?
Yes, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I am a little fine, but now I'm scared because I just said the worst country that you could say. Now, maybe mine, actually, because I think we take the cake these days. But thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Honestly,
Thank
because
you.
we've been planning this for a hot minute. I saw the show as it premiered before the Fringe Festival a few weeks ago. And there were tears. There was a shitload of laughter. There was a lot of grooving as well, and a lot of Madonna. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. But the show was called Acts of Contrition. Now, as I nerdedly told you, like, is this based on the Madonna's last song on 1989 #1 album, the year you were born?
You know, it was the day I was born. Yeah. Yeah,
The day you were born, that was the #1 album?
that's right. Yeah. Mhm.
Love that. Okay, so the day I was born in Scotland, it was the #1 album. And is it fair to say that she has been a huge influence?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I've grown up with her. She's in the show. One of the things I say is every gay is assigned a diva at birth. I really, really believe that. I think all the gays get there. I got Madonna. Some of them, the newer ones, are getting Gaga, or some get Taylor for some reason. I have no idea why.
I'm not going to go there.
Some get, what's her face? That Sabrina Carpenter. I've just learned to live with the fact that not everything's for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got Chapel. There's divas coming up, and so I think every gay is assigned their diva at birth.
Why Madonna for you?
My God. I suppose the Catholic thing really, really spoke to me. The fact that she was called Madonna was blasphemy. The flaming crosses and not Ray of Light and the like a prayer video. All of the kind of Catholic iconography that she's kind of like come up in her videos has always just spoke to me as a little Catholic boy. And she's bloody brilliant. She's just been like, she was the complete rebel, the original kind of like going against everything. What is it she says? The most controversial thing I've ever done is stick around, and believe that.
Okay, for me too. And I would say that there is a reason why in my family, she's very revered between me and the 4 kids. So seeing that really, it hit me. And also, my parents were business people and business leaders in the community where I grew up. But they were also pastors of a Judeo-Christian church.
Wow. Okay.
So seeing that, seeing the iconography, seeing all that, obviously ours is very different when you have a kind of evangelical Judeo background. But it hit home. Mm-hmm. And that kind of... I don't believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, sir, you never fully get that out of you when it's born in you. Do you know what I mean? There's an essence of faith, thankfully, that I believe that I have, but also a lot of that dogma, we can laugh at it, we make, but sometimes parts of it stay there. I wonder if that has affected you at all as you've been, that you are.
I mean,
so young. So young.
I mean, the play is about Catholic guilt.
Yeah, man.
And so like what you were saying about, maybe not just Catholic, any kind of religion that you've kind of grown up with, doesn't leave you entirely. There's always something, I always feel like something in the back of my head, especially with your fault kind of thing, or kind of like an apology for, I apologize before I've done anything wrong kind of thing. And I feel like the play really, really tries to address that. And I try to kind of like, act of contrition, literally, the act of contrition for those who are not Catholic is the prayer of forgiveness, and it's the one that, and I've called it acts of contrition because every scene in the show I try to do it in a different storytelling device. Yep. So it's different acts, and
you do.
And so we've got straight acting plays, we've got voiceover, we've got a rap, we've got a musical number. There's
a rap that you do.
A rap that I do live
Okay,
for 4.5 minutes.
And the shit's real. Mm-hmm. And it's also a very intense scene as well. Mm-hmm. And there are things that I think sometimes don't get spoken about in the community amongst men specifically that are also touched on this. And when you grow up in a overtly religious environment, that even affects us more. I certainly was only really heterosexual till almost 30. And
Wow,
I'm
okay.
84 years old. and so I understand the process too of what you were living, what you were going through
Yeah.
as well. Why do you think religion seems to bombard those of us who are members of our community with that at such a young age when there's so much rampant covert homosexuality in the evangelical church, in the Protestant church, in the Catholic church, let's be real, in the Muslim faith as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, I never saw it. I didn't like again in the show as well. I addressed the fact that we didn't, and this was in the early, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
There was no kind of like successful or like great gay role models to look up to. Anything that was kind of gay themed was either the comic relief or the tragic consequence of being gay, right? Or you're gay, well you're gonna die of AIDS. Or you're gay, you're the non-sexual funny, and so I never had like a kind of role model. I think it's like, okay, if this is the path you're going to choose, you can either choose one of these, the non-sexual, funny, camp comedian, or the one who's going to die. And that's all we had. So I think and so religion can like really step that up and use that as that kind of.
It's a fear thing.
Of course,
Fear
yeah,
tactic.
exactly.
And we see how that fear tactic takes over. I mean, my God, my country lives in fear. It's fun. You also might get shot, so be fearful. But when you're doing this stuff, because you also do so much other stuff, what fuels the drive for this creative notions, these kinds of processes? Because this, I know it was in a few months, but within 3 to 6 months, you had this down pat.
I don't know. So what fuels my drive to
Yeah,
create this sort of
yeah.
thing? Really, this was a real cathartic thing for me. I wanted to. It originally started as a cabaret show. Would you believe? And my original plan was to write a cabaret show talking about in full drag, right? So I've been in full drag talking about how the Catholic Church inspired or invented Bonnie Wee Laddie, right? And I was going to call it sexual abuse because I'm a saxophone player, right? And I thought that was maybe a bit too close to the bone. And then as I was writing, I had no intention of putting in the stuff that ended up in the show. And I realized that this wasn't a cabaret show. It was actually more of a serious theatrical piece, and which actually took me out of drag. And so really, as an artist, I've always managed to be behind something. So behind, Bonnie Wee Laddie, behind an instrument. And really, this was kind of the first time I was giving myself a voice that I never really had before. I was terrified to do it because the show is a confession, and it's a really real. It's based on, it's completely true for the most part, and it's so the show's a confession. So I felt like I had done my work in terms of therapy and looking back and examining consciences and examining things. I'd done all that work, and it really felt like this is actually what I need to do. I'd considered writing a book, and then I thought, no, I'm not really booky. I'm definitely more theatrical, like dramatical. That's it seems more appropriate for something. Yeah, it seems more appropriate for me to do this on stage, and that's what it became.
Did you study any acting and stuff like that at school when you were little?
I mean, I did theatre all my life.
They don't do that a lot here, so it's. I mean,
it's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
in Scotland and the US, they do. We do
yeah,
a lot.
I was really lucky. Like I was in youth theatre for a long time, but study it, go to acting school. No, I never did. Okay. But it was always part of my life forever. And I started. I mean, I did music all my life as well.
Okay.
But.
Sorry for interrupting. When you say that, were there any artists, musicians, saxophonists that inspired you that you absolutely love?
Saxophone players.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I love the greats. I love her John Coltrane, and anything to do with like that jazz stuff. I don't play like that. That's not what I do. I love it because I can't do it. I think I'm always inspired by or amazed by people who do things that I'm not capable of. Mm-hmm. So I really love really, really feminine drag queens because I'm not. I was like, that's what I
Okay.
think. I'm kind of like delusional. I'm like, oh my god, that's what I look like.
Okay, Carnal. Are there any beautiful queens that you actually gravitate towards because they're so femme and so spot on and put together?
Well, I mean,
On fleek.
I love what they can do. Like, so like in Barcelona, for example, the Spanish drag queens, some of them are just so put together. And I look and I go, wow, I could never. It's like, for example, like Sagittaria, for example, is stunning. You know, these girls are gorgeous. But I just look and I go like, wow, that's amazing. I can't do that, but I'm going to admire it from a distance and then do what I do, which I'm sure inspires somebody else.
Exactly, but not also that. You're a man of many talents.
Yes.
Because you DJ and then you throw in a house track and you do sax over it at the same time, which nobody else in that motherfucking ass can do that. And they're not doing it, at least in our city, so hell.
I don't DJ myself. I improvise with the DJ. So
Okay.
so the DJ will be playing, and I'll spit some house track improvisation with the sax
And
over
throw your
that.
sax over it.
That's what I do.
How
yeah.
long have you been playing?
God, how old am I? I'm 36, so we're talking 27, 36 years.
So the majority of your life.
Oh yeah, forever. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Love it. Okay. You know what? Beautiful. We're gonna throw on some tracks right now. And there was a group in the early 90s called D-Light. And they are my favorite outside of Underworld. Shout out Wales. My favorite dance group of all time. D-Light. You may remember Groove is in the Heart. But one of their DJs was a boy from Japan named Tawate. And Tawate has been making some of the best J-pop and J-dance for decades. The brother still looks 39. I don't get it. But yeah, I do. He's from Japan. This is one of his songs with a singer named Luoma called Risk Some Soul. We'll be right back in 3.5 minutes, kids, with Bonnie Rilati.
Ain't
300 shows, including stand-up, improv, sketch, even live game shows. Catch some of the best international acts and hidden gems from here and abroad, with shows in English, Spanish, Catalan, French, Italian, and more. 10 days, unlimited laughs, one unforgettable festival. Get your tickets now at barcelonafringefestival.com. Barcelona Fringe Festival. Something for everyone.
Yeah, babies. Remember, you can get all of those tickets at barcelonafringefestival.com. In fact, one of the performers there for the Fringe Festival is sitting right next to me, the lovely JG Bonnie Wee Laddie, who's going to be performing Acts of Contrition at BCN Studio at 8 o'clock on the 1st of November. And I want to talk something about, without giving any spoilers, what is some of the rundown? You know, in my country, there's this anti-drag queen, anti-drag bingo, anti-drag brunches, anti-drag ridiculousness in 22 specific states. What are some of the things that people in our beautiful city can expect when they go to one of your reviews and when they go to the premiere of the Fringe Festival at the studio?
All right, so me as a drag queen and the Acts of Contrition are completely different things, I would say. Bonnie Wee Laddie's shows. Oh, I have a monthly show that I do at the BCN studio. I'm going to plug it right now.
Yeah.
It's called Drag Lingo.
Drag Lingo.
Yes, and it's Intercambio de Idiomas. It's a language exchange. So our kind of audience is new people to the city, or definitely anyone else in the city. It's the idea of get to meet new people and practice both languages, Spanish and English and Catalan. Absolutely. It's I do numbers. I'm a saxophone player. I sing live. I do comedy. I do it all.
And this is at the BCN studio.
This is the BCN studio.
Okay.
Every month. So we just had one just last week there. So we're doing another one in November. I can't remember the date. We might be changing the day.
Okay.
It was a Monday, but we're hopefully going to gravitate towards a more, maybe a Thursday, a wee Jueves or something. But a bit nicer. And so that's kind of like that sort of thing I do. I'm very much on the mic, hosting, audience, crowd work. Get a few numbers in. That's what I do. I know a lot of kind of like new, in my opinion, maybe homogenized drag is, looking gorgeous and doing a fierce lip sync and a split. Fantastic. I can't do that. Yeah. And
You're also a musician.
It's not my thing. Yeah. They're like, but like, that's not what to expect at my shows. Okay. And it's definitely a good variety is what you can expect at my shows.
Okay.
I've also got another show coming up,
life.
and it's not Acts of Contrition. It is with my fabulous drag sister Joan O, who and my other drag sister Emmy Reek, who is a Brazilian songstress. We are performing also in the BCN studio. This place is very, very queer and drag friendly, so you better get your asses down there. And we are doing a drag review theatrical spectacular called Divas on Deck. That's deck with an E. Chill out. Okay? And it's kind of like a cruise ship, 3 queens living their fabulous life on board the HMS Puta. And there's everything you can expect there. Numbers, songs, theatricals. It's fabulous. That's a big drag show. And then you've got my actual play, which is definitely a bit more serious, but also kind of hilarious and sad and poignant, which is essentially, like I said before, my story, like definitely the story of JG or Gerard, which is essentially the origin story of Bonnie Wee Laddie. How did this Scottish drag queen end up exploding onto the Barcelona scene? It's like a bit random. So from the humble, terrified Catholic beginnings to kind of like fierce drag, queer fabulousness, and finally kind of like, coming of age and being myself and just fucking saying, fuck it, I am it.
Well, was this part of fighting some of the demons that you've had to deal with and confronting?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The play has helped me do that, and it was completely by accident. My psychologist had said to me, why don't you?
I love it.
We all need a shrink. Come on.
Yes,
right?
yeah, mother effing
Everyone
do.
should have one.
Especially men, heterosexual men.
Yes.
Please get some therapy and counseling.
They will do anything but therapy. But yeah, I think like when I started writing it, I had no idea that this was what my therapist had told me. You should write something down. And I thought about a book, and then this kind of took its own way, and it became so cathartic and so special for me. And so it's really, really emotional to have being able to share it with people now, which I didn't.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
And for me.
And then another huge thing was both my parents were there at the weekend.
Okay, well, I wasn't gonna say because I don't want to get emotional because my dad is here,
Right.
and I hadn't spoken to him for a hot minute, a few weeks, and Latinos, and your dad was there, and I had to give him a hug twice because it hit me hard, and your dad was crying behind me, and
Yeah.
when I see dads cry, it cuts me. And so I had to give your dad. So please give your dad another hug
I
from me, or a
will,
shout out
yeah.
from me, because it really does go there, folks. So, like another sister friend of mine, Nicole Kolar, shout out. There's some work that some of our beautiful people here in Barcelona are doing in English that really touch on so many bloody levels, because we're talking about things that go spiritually, mentally, emotionally, kinetically. She touches on hers with fickle eulogy, and you did it with yours with acts of contrition. If there's something deeper that you would like people to get from that, because it's also very therapeutic, what would it be? I know that's not part of the list, but if there's something that people would get from acts of contrition, because you will cry,
Yeah.
you will feel something, what would that be, love?
I think one of the biggest things, and one of some of the reviews and people some of the audience reactions, which I didn't expect, I assumed that this was a queer story, right? I assumed that, like, okay, so the gays are going to come in and see themselves. But one of the big things that I've been told about it is heterosexual audience members, especially women, telling me that they had no idea about the gay experience. The main people in the mainstream have no idea, like, really what we go through. Maybe to this day we are still, tragic stories or comedy stories. My story is a bit of both of them, but the good thing about my story is the hopefulness at the end. Like, I'm living a great life right now. I'm really happy, and I really am.
Amen.
And so
Amen.
for someone to kind of see that arc, and the ending be triumphant and happy and wonderful, it's quite new. They don't die in the
is.
end. But then for a lot of the kind of like straight women and heterosexual women were saying, I had no idea about the kind of like what you all went through, because the story is not unique. That's why I think a lot of like queer people will see themselves in it. It's not a unique story. Sadly, it's not
No,
unique.
It's not. And neither is the part of the covert homosexuality by being heterosexual
Yeah.
aspect, which is another thing that touches on that. And again, I dealt with that twice in the last week with two men, and it's a very sad and daunting thing. And the way that you talk about it and confronting it, the actress as well. I just think that the one you've chosen, Lena is just
Lena Sakala.
chinga madre way.
She's
She's
just
so fucking good.
fantastic.
And everybody on the screen, when the two of you are together, everything that happens around it is just ephemeral, and you feel
you.
that. And I think you both bring that out of each other. Now, here's an entertainment dork question that I had written in, because I always try to get this in with people who understand. Is there a specific creative art that you really gravitate towards more now that you do so many different factions of it?
Theater. I mean, drag is theater.
Yeah, it is.
Like, drag is theater.
Straight up performance.
It is entirely, and it's drag for me is okay. I get to wear the pretty looks and look stunning, but that's really like that. Like fashion and makeup and something really does come kind of like secondary to it, because I just love the performance aspect of it. And Bonnie Wee Laddie is a character that I've cultivated and created. She's very different to me. I feel like I give her a license to
Straight up,
to
she
behave.
is.
Yeah. If you, it's really funny because people meet Bonnie Wee Laddie first, and then they meet me. They're like, "Oh, you're quite shy."
And that's happened with me.
It's really funny.
But you're not shy with
I don't think
me.
I'm shy at all.
No,
Like,
not
people are
with
like,
me.
they're like, you're quite quiet, or you're quite, or the one thing that cracked me up was I was on a date with some guy who knew Bonnie first, and then I met me, and he was like, you're pretty butch, and I was like, I've never been called that in my life. Compared to Bonnie Wee Laddie,
my
of
God.
course I am. Yeah, but Jesus, like, I thought it was really funny. It's maybe because I dress like I'm going to steal your bike or something. I don't know,
Right
like-
now, you're giving me the streets, yo. Oh my God, do you remember the streets?
The Streets.
The group, the rapper, the hip hop. Do you remember the streets?
I might be too young.
My God, no. Excuse me, perdona. Okay, I'm gonna fuck that shit. I'm gonna ask another question then, because glaring differences of audiences and humor takes between Scotland and Catalonia. Do you see them? Do you feel them?
Well, here's a gag. I have never done drag in Scotland.
Oh, Shiza! When are you taking this to the Fringe? There.
I'm taking it next year. It's not my plan. My plan is to take it to Edinburgh next year.
Amen, brother.
I have never done drag in
It's
Scotland.
gonna be emotional as hell.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
so I really
God.
don't know, and I feel like there's a lot of Scottishness in the play.
You think? It's fucking. That's why. Please forgive me for saying this. The mess up at the beginning. Straight up, you feel the Scottishness. And it's refreshing, man.
Yeah,
It's refreshing.
and so like if it's translating here, it's gonna kill hopefully in Scotland because there's just lots of little nuances that are that's for a Scottish person. There's lots of things that may have gone over your head, but then I think I've written so much in the show that's like that's for gay people, that's for women, that's for Scottish people. That's for you mean I've done that's for drag queens. Like there's so many things in the show that's multi-layered. That's like there's little nuggets and Easter eggs for my certain demographics that I all relate to. That's for the Spanish people. That's for anyone who knows Cadiz. Like there's a Cadiz drag queen in the show.
Yep. Where you started your life in Spain?
When I started my life in Spain, exactly that's where I started.
The other side.
And so I've written her lines very, very Andalusian, very, very Gaditana. She calls me Pisha, right? So anyone who doesn't know Cadiz or knows Andalusia or Cadiz especially won't have a clue what that's about. That's for you, Gaditanos.
I wonder if those nuances make more sense in a place like Catalonia or some place like that region of Andalusia, or maybe because Scotland as well is not. Is the UK, but it's.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so.
yeah. Well, I mean, I always say like I learned Spanish in Cadiz, which is probably similar to learning English in Glasgow. So I really identify with the Andaluthas in that kind of
Got
way.
it now. I love this. All right, y'all. We've got one more track we're gonna throw in before we get to the end, and it's another Town with Tang from Z-Light track. This is called Love Connection because there's so much of that going on. Remember, you can catch the jams live on 106.9 FM throughout Catalonia and RCE.cat. We'll be right back with Bonnie Wee Laddie, Mr. JG. of the year. Why? Because I can. It's my show. But more importantly, Acts of Contrition is the show that we're talking about here. It's going to be popping off at 8 o'clock on the 1st of November for the Barcelona Fringe Festival at the BCN Studio, which is in Carrer del Alcano in Poble Sec. In fact, if you get off on Parallel and walk up, or Poble Sec and walk down, you're going to catch it. So the BCN Studio doing so much, and again, such a wonderful LGBTQ. It's a safe space for anybody who's an artist. I don't care if you're young, old, black, white, straight, gay, or alien. That is a safe space. So shout out to Mark and Angela and everybody there because y'all are doing God's work. Sam, I love you too, puppy. Thank you for cluing me in.
It was happy birthday, Mike. It was his birthday yesterday.
Was it Mike's birthday
Yeah,
already?
he's 70 years old. Can you believe it?
No, we don't say that. We don't out people here and their ages, but no,
He
he
looks
is
fabulous. Yeah.
He is ageless.
Fantastic.
That's one of the beauties of being gay. Okay. Now, speaking of, the last time I throw up my questions list again for Mike, because yes, I am a journalistic dork. Future plans and inspirations. Besides, well, we talked about the review. You've got the lingo, the drug lingo every month at the BCN Studio. You've got this kicking off for the Fringe Festival. You've got Divas on Deck.
On the 14th.
Anything else that you're wanting to do? But I mean, you also mentioned taking this next year to the Barcelona Fringe. Edinburgh.
That's the next step. Yeah, definitely. The next step is to take it to Edinburgh next year. I'd really like to maybe tour it a little bit next year to create a bit more buzz about it.
Yeah.
I would love to do it in Glasgow. And just all kind of pre-Fringe, but the Fringe Festival is the big kind of like goal. Inroads start getting made, kind of like after Christmas and stuff. So I really want to kick off that soon. And I'd love to start writing again. I found the process. I started writing this show literally on the 9th of January this year. That's when I started writing the show, and then I'd written something kind of like credible, and I was helped. It was actually dramaturged by my director, Georgina Tremaine, who is a fantastic writer and playwright and screenwriter, does everything. And she helped me dramaturg it, and then really kind of helped me put it into like script format, you know. And then she said, "Do you have a director yet?" And I was like, "No."
Now you do.
Will you direct it? And we had this lovely connection, and it's just been a great relationship with her. So
Georgina Tremaine?
Georgina Tremaine,
What
yeah.
a beautiful name, too.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
God,
it's
it's
like
fabulous.
it's going to be a playwright, Georgina Tremaine.
I
It's
mean,
fantastic.
so shout out, Georgina.
Yeah, no, George is excellent, and she's been such a rock, and I couldn't have done it without her. So really big thanks to her. She really helped me kind of like show me like what in terms of the writing and how the format and how it should
So
look,
there.
because like I had no experience. I've not done a script writing class. I don't know anything. I gave her a fucking can I say that?
Yeah,
I gave her a Google Doc. I was like, that. This is what I've got. She was like, so like, but she helped me kind of like work it out, and also like acting. Because I'm accustomed to doing Bonnie Wee Laddie. So that is an acting job, but it's a different type of acting.
Straight up.
It's very I'm looking for the laugh at all times. And I did the show in September, and then I was back with Georgina doing some rehearsals, and she said, and I asked her, this line here, I played it for laughs. It's not funny, is it? She's like, it shouldn't be funny. And I was like, but I was playing it for laughs. I went straight to Bonnie in that moment. And so I'm learning a lot. And so it's learning about
And you're teaching a lot in this play too, just saying.
Thank you.
So there's a symbiosis, yin and yang happening.
And so I think maybe I would like to do more real acting.
You're going to. You do know this, right?
I hope so.
Okay, yeah. And she, oh my God, she's doing it.
Yeah.
He and she is doing it in either way.
Yeah.
So well done, Papa
Thank you.
I'm going to say this again, everybody. Barcelona Fringe Festival. We robbed it from his people. And brought it here. Thanks to my boys Jay and Jay and Lady Hannah at the Comedy Clubhouse who are sponsoring us this year. So shout out to them as well this month. And you can get tickets as well through the BCN Studio or Barcelona Fringe Festival. Or click on the tags at Instagram at Bonnie Wee Laddie. And that's we as in French, O-U-I, and Laddie as in Scottish Laddie, L-A-D-D-I-E, my loves. And thank you so much for being here. I'm glad we made this fucking happen.
Yes,
Yo!
exactly. Absolutely.
All right, folks. And again, that is going to be popping off at the Barcelona Studio on the 1st of November at 8 o'clock. So get your tickets for Acts of Contrition and Barcelona Fringe Festival. We'll be throwing this, and we'll be bothering you for the next month. Okay, so we'll see you on the flip side. Power to the People, we're leaving you with one other song because that's how we roll up in here. And it is a 30-year-old B-side outro that has just been released from Madonna because Madonna is the one who inspired us. This is from the Bedtime Story Collection,
Oh
the
my
post-bedtime, so it's a 94-95 track, and it's called Right on Time. It's just a little ditty. You've never heard it before because it's never been released before till this past week. So only here at the Club with Lucas. We love you. Power to the people. Here's Madonna.